All right, so I just wanted to show you that this is what we are going to end up making. Okay, so there's different shapes. We're going to talk a lot about shapes and paths, how to change some shapes. And so that's really what our focus is going to be. So it's just a little bit of a, kind of some of it's a little bit of a review. Okay, so I have opened up the Shapes and Paths Illustrator file and I've named it. And this is what it looks like. And there's a couple of things that I want us to do first. One is I want you to go to Windows, Workspace, Reset Essentials. So it'll kind of change it back to whatever it was, because you may have changed it in the last thing that we did. I also want you to go to Window, Toolbars, Advanced. Okay, so that gives us more choices in there. And the last thing that I want to do, I guess that's all I want to do. Okay. And so first thing I'm going to do is there's several tools that allow us to cut and divide shapes, and we're going to start with the scissors tool. Okay. So, oh, I know, there's one other thing. I want you to go to View, and then I want you to you may have to use this arrow at the bottom and make sure that Smart Guides has a check by it. Okay. So those are the three things. View Smart Guides, Window Toolbars Advanced, and Window Workspace Reset Essentials. So those are the different things that we're going to do. All right. So let's go down below here where we can choose the artboard. We're going to choose one poster parts. Okay. And so we're going to do that. I'm going to select the selection tool. That's the one that's filled in, not the white one, but the black one. And I am going to click the gray shape with the green stroke behind it. Okay. And then now that that's selected, I'm going to do Control plus, and I'm going to zoom in, and it will zoom in to what I have selected. Okay. And so now what I'm doing is I'm going to hold on to the eraser tool. It's over here in the toolbar. Do you see it right here in the middle? I'm going to hold on and I'm going to go down to the scissors tool. Okay. And I'm going to move. You can see that now my cursor is kind of like a cross shape, and I'm going to move it over the top here until I'm going to kind of do it like right about above the four. And when I'm here, I'm going to click to cut the path here. Okay. And then I'm going to move the pointer away. All right. So now I'm going to select the direct selection tool. That's the white arrow. And I'm going to move the pointer over this blue anchor point, and I'm going to drag it up and a little to the left. So um, I kind of moved it over that way. Okay. So I cut it, and so I've, interrupted this path. Okay. And now I'm going to drag the other anchor point up a little bit and a little to the right. Okay. So I'm going to do it like right there or so. Okay. So you can see now that that green line, that path, the green border doesn't go all around the shape. So now this is an open path. And so I'm going to try and join the paths. So I'm going to come up here to my selection tool, and I'm going to click away from the path to deselect it. Okay. Then I'm going to click in the gray fill to select it again. And then only one anchor point was left selected from the previous section. So to join this now, I need to click So kind of clicking out here and then clicking here was important because now all of them are selected. And I'm going to write down here in this contextual shape, I'm going to do join path. Okay. So it joined the path right there. And I'm going to shift click. This whole thing is now done. I'm going to also hold down the shift button and click the open 24 hours text as well. Okay. And then I'm going to click, wait, hold on a second. So I've clicked that, and now I'm going to hold down the shift and I'm going to hold on to the text. And I'm going to click group here in this contextual task button so that they're all together. So that, if I move them, I'm going to move them all together. And I'm going to select, deselect. Okay, so that's one thing that I'm going to modify. Now I'm going to cut with the knife tool. And you know what? Right now I kind of want to slide down here. So one thing I can do is hold down, look at my cursor. If I hold down the space bar, it turns into a hand, which is kind of a convenient way to do this. Okay. So now with the selection, I'm going to click on the brown shape here. Okay. So this head is made up of different shapes here. And I'm going to hold on to where the scissors tools are, and I'm going to go to the knife tool. Okay. And then with the knife tool, I'm going to drag here to cut a kind of a triangle nose shape, a nose shape. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it like that. If I don't like my cut, I can change it. So I'm going to select, deselect. Okay. Then I'm going to get the selection tool and I'm just going to do the nose. Okay. And then I'm going to come over here in the contextual text box, click on the fill, and click on black. Okay, so now I have a little black nose here. Okay, so with my selection, I'm going to click on what's left of that shape here. And I am, I can kind of click on that. I'm going to select the knife tool now. There's my knife tool. And I'm going to move the pointer just above the top of the shape. Okay. And I am going to press the caps lock key. Look what happens to this knife. It turns into this crosshairs pointer, which is a little bit easier. And I'm going to hold on to I'm going to press and hold my Alt key, and I am going to click across here. Okay. So I'm going to do select, deselect. Now I'm going to choose the selection and just do that little piece that I'm doing. And I'm going to do this a lighter brown like that. And now I'm going to go across all of them and I'm going to group them. Okay. So I'm going to say, that's my dog face. That's what I've got. All right. So now let's make an ear. Okay. And how I'm going to make an ear is I'm going to be using the eraser tool to turn this rectangle into an eraser shape. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here And where I had the knife tool, I'm going to be clicking and choosing the eraser tool, okay? Now, this is how big my eraser is now. I'm going to double click my eraser and make sure that it's 60 points, okay? And then what I'm going to do now is I just sort of want an arc shape. And sometimes I don't get this right and I have to do it a couple times, okay? So I wouldn't say that's the best arc shape I've ever done, but there we go. Okay. Okay, so it kind of looks like that. I can kind of work with that. But that's one way I can do that. All right, now I want to make the two other corners rounded corners. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. So I am going to do the direct selection tool. That's the white one. And I'm going to click the shape here to select it. And then do you see inside the shape, inside this corner, there's a corner widget and then there's a corner widget here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to shift click on this one. So now they're both selected. So whatever I do to one is going to happen to the other. Okay. Right. So I rounded those corners a little bit. Not really sure why they're not rounding more, but that's what that looks like right now. And then I'm going to put that ear over the dog. And then I'm going to direct select it. And I'm going to go outside until these like little double arrows go. And I'm going to uh, rotate it a little bit. Okay. So that's my dog ear. Okay. So now I'm heading further down and I'm heading into this and I want it to look more like that. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. If I click on one of these, this is actually a path, right? This is just um, a line. Hold on a second. And if I'm here with the selection tool here, I'm going to click kind of this path here. And then to erase part of the path, we're going to have to turn this path into a filled shape. Okay. So I'm going to control zoom in quite a bit. It's a little hard to see this blue line in the middle of this green shape, but I want you to do that. So I've highlighted that. I'm going to go to Object, Path, Outline, Stroke. Okay. So the path, kind of it turned instead of that green line down, the blue line down the middle, now it's turned into a rectangle. So it's now a shape with a green fill instead of being a line. So I'm going to erase parts of the shape so that it looks more like a plant instead of just, a thick rectangle. So I'm going to select my eraser tool and I'm going to, let me see what this is now. It's 60, that's okay. And what I'm going to do is only this one line here is highlighted, so I don't have to worry. I'm going to kind of make it like that. Okay. And you see it didn't affect any of the other lines because they weren't highlighted. So I'm going to do it like that. Okay. All right. Not the best I've ever done, but there you go. Okay, so now I'm going to do it with all the other ones. So I'm going to come into here. And then that's now a line. I'm going to go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke, get my eraser, and I'm going to make it into an organic shape. Okay. I probably should have made my, okay. And then I'm going to do the same here. Object, Path, Outline Stroke, take my eraser. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to click on this one, Object, Path, Outline Stroke, get my eraser. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of put all of these together into what I want it to look a little bit more like a spiky plant. And there, I've got something anyway. And there you go. All right. So I have used the eraser. I've turned the line into a shape with a fill, and then I've used my eraser tool to all right. I want to now, I'm going to erase a circle in a straight line to make a bush. So I'm going to choose 3 poster, the third artboard here. Okay. And I basically am going to cut across here. So with the selection tool selected, I'm going to click the larger green circle. Okay. And I am going to zoom in a little bit. And then I am coming over to my eraser tool. Okay. And actually, I'm going to double click it and I'm going to make my eraser tool super big. 100. Okay, look how big my eraser tool is now. And I am going to come right here. Okay. I want my eraser just on the outside, but really right up against that building. And I am going to press the Shift key, and then I'm going to press down on this, and it is going to go into a straight line. So I don't have to worry about it. Now it looks like I've done everything, but when I let go, it didn't cut into this circle, and that's because that circle was not selected. Okay. So now I'm going to come back here. I'm going to select it. I'm going to go back to my eraser and I'm going to hold down the Shift button and go across it. And now I have done all that. All right. So it's probably a good point to do File, Save, and go to the next video.